Good morning.
Hey, Seattle.
As always, it's your girls, Jasmine and Shantae.
Welcome to another Thursday morning and another episode of The Way with Jazz and Tay.
We'll be bringing you lots of laughs and class to get you ready for the day and the weekend ahead.
Will it be the way or not the way? Find out and join the conversation.
Hey, all you cool cats and kittens.
Weirdos. What's up,
Good morning. Happy Thursday.
Welcome to yet another episode of The Way with Jazz and Tay. We hope you guys are doing well this morning.
You know, all things considered, I think we're doing all right.
You know, I'm definitely over this. The cabin fever's sitting in.
Yeah.
I find myself in the middle of work kind of staring at the wall in front of me like, is this forever?
Yeah.
And when is this going to end?
And I know that it's getting bad for you because you've started to mention it more and more.
Like, it's weird because I find myself just staring and I'm like, what am I even doing right now?
You're looking for reasons to get out of the house. Like,
absolutely.
We went on a walk yesterday, like on our lunchtime, and we were like walking around just our neighborhood, and I was like, do you want to go back now? She's like, no, honestly, let's just do another block or something.
I'm never going back. I'm running away.
I just don't want to come back right now.
Yeah. So quarantine's starting to get the best of me,
yeah.
But we're healthy and it's another day. So
yeah, it's another day, and we've had really beautiful weather.
Absolutely.
The last week, we've been blessed to have a pretty decent spring out here.
A warm spring.
Yeah. It's not wet and rainy.
Yeah, I'm hoping that means that it's going to be an unusually hot summer.
I mean, with global warming, I think we've got that coming.
I mean, you never know. It could be cold, and I would be so upset.
So let's see, outside of our cabin fever, what else have we done this past week? What have we done since last Thursday?
Nothing really. However, this past Sunday was Easter.
Yes.
And of course, you can't let any major holiday go by without showing a little bit of love and celebrating it. So we listened to Kirk Franklin all morning.
We had like a very, very fun praise hour.
Gospel hour.
Yeah.
And we also ended up dyeing eggs. We dyed eggs like a day later because
we just didn't get to it on Easter.
You know, it was kind of like going with the flow all Easter.
Yeah.
And, you know, there was no rush to be at family dinner. So, like, you know, at 8 o'clock, I boiled the eggs. And then I was like, I think I'm going to bed now.
Yeah, you know.
We can do this tomorrow. It's going to be here.
Yeah, it was only a dozen eggs. No biggie. But the Easter Bunny came and visited our house and left us a bunch of treats. We had some chocolate bunnies. We had like those little gumball dispensers that are chickens, and it's like they're pooping or like hatching eggs. You know what I'm talking about?
That's the gift that keeps on giving right there.
Yeah. I got one of those. We got a Cadbury cream egg and some Peeps, you know, so it was a good Easter. I took my hair out. For those of you who can't see because there's no video, I had braids and I took them out. It took me a few hours on Saturday. It took me the length of Parasite, the movie. That's how long it took me to take the braids out.
But it took you less time to take them out than to put them in.
Seriously, it's always easier taking out your hair than it is to put it in. Like, that is one thing that will never change.
Yeah, that's really it.
Yeah, I made homemade mozzarella sticks.
How'd those turn out?
Amazing.
Really freaking good.
First time through?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah. So I got this idea from like one of those trap kitchen or like trap snack IGs on Instagram. And I had a bunch of like string cheese that was just waiting to get eaten. And I was like, oh, you know what?
Don't we all?
I could just adopt that. Yeah, I could just adopt that recipe. And it was so easy. Basically, you just like roll the string cheese and egg and breadcrumbs, egg and breadcrumbs, and then you throw it in the oil just enough until it's like crispy. And then you dip it in marinara and bada boom, bada bing.
Wow.
It was doing the like cheese pull. You know how when you like pull it apart and the cheese just Oh yeah, it was doing all of that. It was
so good.
mwah, magnifique.
Catering the next event for me. There you go.
And honestly, that's like an easy snack. You know, it's I mean, if you have kids, a lot of kids I know love string cheese, so you probably have string cheese on deck. You know, it's just, why not give it a try? It's delicious.
Absolutely.
Ooh, are we ready to jump into today's icebreaker?
Absolutely.
All
We're
right.
switching it up.
We are switching it up. We are going back to categories. Okay. It's been a minute since we've done this. We've kind of been sticking to Would You Rather because we've loved the conversation that it's brought. But we are going to do categories today, and it's going to be kind of themed around the holiday and whatnot and just relative things, okay? So, for the first category, we are going to do Easter.
Ooh,
Okay.
I don't know.
So, with Easter, you know, just we're gonna start the round, and you gotta go back and forth. You cannot pause.
One word?
Just one word at a time.
No phrases?
I guess it could be like a phrase, you know, but you just can't hesitate. Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna start. Ready?
Ready.
Jesus.
Has risen.
Church.
Sunday best.
Bunnies.
The Easter baskets.
Eggs.
Cadbury eggs.
Palm Sunday.
Dying eggs.
Peeps. You can't keep saying.
I mean, like, there's not really much, and that's why I stopped on Easter Bunny. I'm gonna take that L because I'm like, there's just like 7 different types of eggs. There's 7 different type of bunnies.
I'm thinking like, you know,
because you said bunny, and I was about to say Easter Bunny, which is why I said Easter basket instead.
you could do like baby chicks. You could say chicken.
You could do Queen Latifah.
Why?
What?
Oh,
Yeah,
there, I
what?
got the look from you too.
I know.
So
hold
this
on.
is my story from Easter a few years ago. The boys
Tell me.
were about 3, 4, and you know we did the whole Easter bunny picture and all that. Which it's kind
Yeah.
of sad we don't get to do that this year, or did. And so behind the scenes, I remember on the DVR there was a saved clip or show clip from the Queen Latifah show when she had her show. And I was wondering, and then the boy's mom was like, "Don't erase that. It's important." Blah blah blah. I'm like, "You never watched this show. Like, what's going on?" Well, turns out a few years ago, when we did the picture, a producer from her show, saw my boy's mom's blog, and she had posted a picture of all 4 of us with the Easter bunny, and we're all matchy and all that.
No way.
So the
So
producer,
cute.
so the producer did a what is right and what is wrong during this picture segment, and it was right coming back from like a commercial break and stuff like that. And I had no clue, but our picture was featured on the show.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So it was right after like the gum. She was doing something with some gummy teeth that she was like, "Oh, my assistant loves this," blah blah blah. And then she went into like the right and wrong on like what picture to do, and they used us as like the good picture, right? Which was
Oh my
awesome.
God.
No, it was totally awesome. Had me floored. I'm like, hey, that's all of us up there. She was laughing. She was trying to keep it quiet for like a week, I guess, before they had to film the show. And then they did what is wrong because they did a really good looking picture with like a nice looking Easter bunny, and then like the devil Easter bunny, which was like,
Oh my goodness.
I will find the clip. It's floating around on YouTube, so I'll send you the clip. But it's pretty.
Love it. That is so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That
So
is
that's
so
I
cool.
threw that
is
in there.
dope. I
Yeah.
love
Bunny
it.
is famous.
Right. Wait a second. We know
What?
somebody that's famous.
I will
Oh
say
my
this though, the Queen, she said, "I'd like to have them on my refrigerator." I'm like, oh.
Oh.
Yeah, right. So when I see her, I'm gonna bring the picture around next time. We'd like, see, here you go, put it on her fridge.
Right. Remember when you said that? Yeah. If it's not on
Yeah,
your
yeah,
fridge,
yeah,
then I know
yeah.
you're a liar.
Exactly. I know you got a big fridge. I know she's got a big fridge. She can probably afford one, so there's plenty of space on it.
That's an awesome story.
Yeah. Thank you
Thanks.
for sharing that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'll look for the clip.
All right. Are you ready for the next category?
As ready as I can be.
All right. So, the next category is candy.
Ooh.
Okay.
It's like candy.
Right?
All right. Are you you want to start or should I start?
I can start it.
Okay. Ready, set, go.
Milky Way.
Twigs,
Reese's Peanut Butter Cup.
gummy bears,
Cadbury eggs.
Twizzlers,
Starburst.
sweet tarts,
Skittles.
chocolate,
Now and later.
M&M's,
Mambas.
Skittles,
You
You already said Skittles. Winner!
I said Skittles already.
You did.
Yeah.
We can go back to the air
Right at
check,
the
and you have two
start.
people verifying that too. You have two people saying
That
you
was
did it.
hilarious.
Dang it. We were doing so good.
I was hanging in that one for once.
I was
Yes.
starting to struggle. I was like, oh,
I saw you
candy.
staring,
And I was like,
like,
Alrighty. And then the next category should be easy.
It should. It should.
It should be very easy. Okay.
Very.
Oh gosh. Wow. Okay. I don't even know if I'm ready, honestly, now that I'm
Yeah.
thinking about it.
You're gonna think of like your one, and then it's gonna be like, I don't know what's next.
Right. Okay. Do you
wait.
want
No,
I'm gonna start?
because I
Okay.
started it.
Okay. Lion King.
Girl, what is the category?
Oh.
Oops.
I didn't say it already?
No, you've not said anything
Oh.
about this one.
The category is Disney movies.
So we know which to say first.
I am so embarrassed, guys. Wow. Okay, ready? Disney movies. Lion King.
Princess and the Frog,
Pocahontas.
Brother Bear,
Ariel. The Little Mermaid.
Snow White,
Elsa.
uh,
Frozen.
Girl, I feel like you've lost twice.
Here's my problem is I just keep naming characters.
Maybe I should have been the category, but like it's the movie.
No. Can we just pause and like rewind? Skirt.
You want to start it over?
Let's try this again.
You could do a different
Let's try
category.
this again. So,
Make it up on the fly.
Disney. Okay, new category. Shoot.
Why not?
I was
Okay.
like,
You could try.
let's do.
Any J-Lo movie.
Oh.
See?
Okay. I
There's
don't
not
like
very
that.
many, but there's
Yeah,
enough to
I'm
get
not
through
gonna-
it, right?
This
Okay.
is gonna be hard.
Oh.
You're all like, I gotta think.
I can only think of two off the top. Oh, three. I got three off the top of my head. Let's try it.
All right, why not go for it?
Probably have some of the same ones.
I mean,
That's
there's
the
only
point of the
so many.
game. To not-
Okay. So J-Lo movies. Ready, set, go.
Monster-in-Law,
Enough.
Made in Manhattan.
Bridesmaid.
Um,
Wedding Planner.
Ooh, that's a good one. I like that one.
Yeah.
I lose. I
Oh my goodness.
go another way.
A singer.
was-
She was a famous
thinking-
singer.
Selena. That was one of the
For heaven's
three.
sake.
That's my favorite. That's like one of my.
That's like one of her favorite J-Lo movies.
I was like pretty much after Monster-in-Law enough and Made in Manhattan. I'm lost.
Hustlers.
And she,
like-
and she was in Hustlers.
Out of
Yes,
sight. George
Hustlers.
Clooney.
You know what's funny is
Anaconda.
She was in Anaconda.
Yeah.
That's right, she was.
There's so many.
Dude, she totally was.
Yeah.
Yes. Wow, you're bringing back all the nostalgia, man.
She's in a
Made in
lot.
Manhattan
She's in a
and
lot.
The Wedding Planner are
Mhm.
like two of my favorite like J-Lo movies.
Can we just talk about J-Lo movies are good.
They are actually. You know what? That's true. She's.
I
You
like,
know how some singers do like try to start acting and stuff, and it's kind of like just stick to what you know.
I'm super biased, to be
It's good.
honest.
And she's like, you can tell that she works hard at her craft too, because like for enough, you could tell she definitely took all that training and like she got fit for that role and everything, just like with Hustlers,
Yeah.
Alrighty, so now that we've finished our icebreaker, fumbled over it a little bit.
Before we get into our review of the week, we're going to take a really quick 2 to 3 minute break. You guys are listening to The Way. Stay tuned.
Hey guys, welcome back to The Way with Jazz and Tay. Before we took our break, we did our icebreaker, which was categories. And we kind of sort of fumbled over it a little bit because I'm terrible.
I mean, you won the first round.
That's true. I started off hot and then I fizzled out really quickly.
And I just gave up on the last one because I was like, I can't think of any other J-Lo movies, even though I'm a self-proclaimed J-Lo fan.
But you know what? During the break, we did look up a bunch of like J-Lo movies, and we've got a lot of stuff that we could probably find and like very easily watch, during our lockdown. So,
Now we're gonna get into a review. We're gonna throw it back to our reviews of the week. We're gonna review some music. We just thought that maybe we'd bring you some new updated content, because who really wants to talk about coronavirus for a month straight?
Right. We've already been doing it, and it's just gonna keep on going. So let's just shift our focus.
We will give you another update when this is all over.
Right. That'll be the party episode.
So we actually reached out to our listeners or to some of our friends on Instagram, and we asked them to recommend some music to review. What are they listening to? What do they think is good? What should we be, tuned into? So we got some really great recommendations. I'll review the first one. So my friend Ariana actually recommended Music to Be Murdered by Eminem. And this actually dropped back in January of this year. So it's been out for 3 months at this point. And I knew that he dropped a new album. I knew about it, but I didn't tune in because I'll be honest, Eminem's not like at the top of my list of artists to like make sure that I listen when his music drops. But here's one thing that I'll say. Every time Eminem drops an album, I don't know why I'm pleasantly surprised, because I know he's good, but I'm always pleasantly surprised when he drops an album. I'm just like, I should really check for him a little bit more often, because his music is always really good.
What I like about him too is that he's a versatile artist.
Yes.
Like he's got all kinds of different sounds, and yeah.
And I actually think that that's one thing, one argument about Eminem is that he's not, or like that he sounds the same, like all his music sounds the same.
Well, he has a sound for sure.
Angry rap. And in this album, I will actually say that he gave us a little bit of everything, which was different for me. There was some music on it that I was like, oh, this doesn't seem like an Eminem song to me, but like I actually kind of like that. Yeah. And setting his flow to it, like there was kind of like a slow, I wouldn't say R&B, but there was a slower track. It was called In Too Deep. It feels like a love song, and it was to me like a very different sound for Eminem. I definitely recommend checking it out if you like Eminem and you haven't heard it yet. A few of my other favorites, I absolutely love the song Unaccommodating, featuring Young M.A. The beat goes hard. And Young M.A. on it, it's a vibe. I really like that song.
I'm becoming more and more a fan of Young M.A. Like I'm
Young Ma, my bad. Is it Ma or is it M.A.?
I think it's M.A. I don't know. I'm becoming a fan. I cannot say, for sure.
I think it's Young M.A., but it's technically Young Ma,
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, not to get into the technicalities of her name, but
Bless you. Bless you again. 4th time.
Let's get a sneeze count going.
That's
Ooh,
5.
Wow. Excuse me, guys.
You guys just got to witness a Jasmine
On
sneeze.
the Cinco, 5.
Ew.
Ooh,
6.
we got 6.
Okay, you guys, we're done.
Can we make double digits?
I don't think we're done at all.
Yo, it's springtime in Seattle, and my allergies are on 1,000. Like, allergies don't wait for a pandemic, okay?
So one of the things about the song, though, Unaccommodating, so back when this album dropped, as always with any Eminem music, there was a bit of controversy because he likes to say anything.
Yeah.
Like, he is the type of person, he's a lyricist. I would say he's a lyricist.
Definitely.
I think he's one of the best.
And he really goes for like stuff that you wouldn't think of, and it rhymes and it goes, but like maybe you wouldn't say it.
It's controversial yet brave.
So one of the lines in Unaccommodating, he referenced the Ariana Grande mass concert shooting, and then also in the chorus he says like they want to John Bonet me.
Wow.
And I was
That's
just
pretty
kind
deep.
of like listening to it like Eminem, I don't think I'd have gone there. I don't think I would have. I personally wouldn't have said it.
But also that's just true like Eminem fashion.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it rhymed, and I was like, it was clever. It wasn't great, but it was clever, and I can give him points for that.
Yeah.
And overall the song is pretty good.
Yeah.
Definitely check that out. Also check out Godzilla featuring Juice WRLD.
Oh, R.I.P.
yeah,
Juice WRLD.
it's a really good song.
Oh, that's sad.
And I think that everybody should check that one out. But yeah, I would say overall, one, thank you, Ariana, for recommending this album. I would say it's The Way, one, and two. I forgot, but it is The Way. One last thing I wanted to say about the album. It's called Music to be Murdered By, and it's actually very theatrical. So like there's the intro that kind of explains, and it's like, as you've seen, the title of this album is Music to be Murdered By, and it kind of gives you murder mystery vibes, the whole album.
He's always had that kind of tongue-in-cheek, kind of like have fun with his album, you know, with the real Slim Shady and all that. And he's no longer really angry as much as he used to be. His daughter's like now in college, I believe, or even after.
I follow her on Instagram, actually.
Yeah, she's fairly popular, I guess.
She's like she's like a little fashionista.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, he's definitely moving in a different direction. Still doing great music, of course. I can't hold him to that. I grew up with him.
Well, he's been sober too, and that's a huge part. You know, like I feel like that's been a huge change in like the shift in his music as well, is him being clean and sober.
Right, and he's one of the top amazing producers, as well as Dre, who found him, and then he found 50, and so I mean the list just keeps going and going and going, and you know Yellow Wolf and all those guys.
On that point,
I
have one last point to make about Eminem. He is one of the most underrated rappers. Ever. I said it, and you can at me. We can argue about it because the man's a genius. Point blank, period.
Yeah.
And I know y'all try not to give him his props, but like props are due. And
I definitely growing up, I was a huge fan of Eminem just because like my brothers were, and growing up with brothers and you being the younger sister, you know, you always look up to the older siblings, or, you know, you want to be cool, you want to share the same interests. So I adopted a love for Eminem at like the age of 9. But yeah, and so like over the years, even, you know, I've kept up, of course, with his music, and, you know, there's definitely been times where I've just kind of been like, oh, okay, you know, Eminem, whatever, maybe not this album, but I'll definitely check this one out, because over the last few years, even I can't remember the name of the last album that he dropped.
Was it like Kamikaze or something?
Yes,
like that?
I think so, because it was like a surprise album. It dropped out of nowhere. He had like no promotion or anything.
Yeah.
And I loved that one. That one was really good. Yeah, that one really put me back on my like love for like Eminem, and just brought me kind of back to the root. So I'm excited. I'm excited to check this one out. Yeah, thanks, Ariana.
Yeah, great recommendation. We're gonna shout out like a local artist. My friend D Mikey. I actually went to high school with him, and I would say like his record mate. They're on the same record label. Web Wavy made a song, or have a song out called "Roll My Weed."
Mm-hmm.
And it's actually a really great song. I recommend it to everybody. You guys should check that out. It's very chill vibes. You know, it's been nice outside, so I'd say go outside and sit in the sun and throw this on. And you know, right now we can't really do much, but I'd also say it gives like beach vibes. Like basically just go somewhere you can chill out and throw this on and just like maybe have a picnic, and I don't know, maybe roll some weed, since that's what the song is talking about. But I really like the song, and also I would say it's The Way.
Cool. Shouts out to D Mikey.
And then
next is Shantae's, another one of Shantae's friends actually recommended this album by Jay Electronica, and it's called A Written Testimony. And I actually remember hearing a lot of buzz around the album coming out, and I wasn't necessarily sure kind of like why there was this big buzz, but come to find out, this is actually his first like studio album. Yeah, he's only ever kind of done like, you know, like singles and stuff like that. And I've known of Jay Electronica for quite a while, at least since like 2011, but I always just knew of him as like a producer. And, you know, a lot of these artists, they wear multiple hats. You know, a lot of them do writing and producing and all that kind of stuff. So it doesn't surprise me that he's also a rapper. But I thought it was really cool that he was putting out his first like studio project, and a lot of people on Twitter were kind of like throwing hate or like throwing shade.
Interesting.
I remember seeing a lot of people saying negative things about it, or like, you know, watch this album like flop, or watch it be trash.
Well, like, one, that's what everybody says with any rap album.
True.
Like, because I remember when the Baby put out his new album, and everybody was like, "Oh, watch this sound the same and it be trash. If this is trash, I'm like, well, you're gonna still sit there and stream it for the first however long the album is. So
Right.
that's all that really matters.
That's all that they need.
He needs the one stream from you.
But yeah, and so I don't know, and I don't know, maybe I let that get to me. Maybe that was kind of why I didn't listen to it. But fun little gag here. There was this like beef going on, side note, with The Dream and Sean Garrett, because both of them are very good producers and artists themselves, and they have like made a whole bunch of hits. On that, there was like this playlist that Tidal put together, and on this playlist there was a song that came up that The Dream made, and it was from Jay Electronica's album. And so that kind of gave me my first like, oh, okay, well, the Jay Electronica and The Dream work together, so maybe I need to pay a little bit more attention to this. Mm-hmm. And I'm so glad that I did, because the album is a vibe. It's definitely for the people, for the culture.
Yeah.
They've got like recorded quotes from Louis Farrakhan. And he's a very prominent figure in the African American community.
Let the people know.
Yeah. Amen. But the other thing that I want to point out is Sean Carter, aka Jay-Z. He's all over the album. Like, I remember hearing like the first song, and I was kind of like, is this Jay Electronica or is this Jay-Z? Mm-hmm. And then after it like switched up and I heard Jay Electronica, I was like, oh, okay, so that was definitely Jay-Z that I was hearing. But he's on pretty much every other song. And it's, you know, Jay-Z is an incredible rapper himself. We all know this. Like, come on, he's up there, top 5. We all know this. But he's all over it. And then The Dream is also on 2 songs. So there's that one that I mentioned earlier, which is Shiny Suit Theory. And then the second is Ezekiel's Wheel. Both of those actually stood out to me separately from The Dream, because well, I think it's just kind of the vibe that comes with it. It was a very kind of like mellow sound, mellow low-key album. It wasn't anything that was very aggressive, I don't feel like. But I definitely recommend it if you guys haven't already listened to it. I was able to listen to it in one easy sitting, you know, and it was a very seamless kind of album. You know, it
didn't feel like you were going from song to song, but it just felt like all one continual song that went together.
Exactly.
That's what I really liked that about it.
It was a very, very well put together album. Mm-hmm. And speaking of The Dream, I want to segue into another little piece here. He is actually dropping another album, and he is dropping an album tomorrow, Friday, April the 17th.
Air horn.
But for those of you guys who don't already know this about me, I am a huge Dream fan and stan, and any chance that I get to talk about him or support him or promote him, I do.
She takes.
And he's been cooking for a while, and it's here. It's finally here. So I'm really excited. Tomorrow, that's definitely going to be all that I'm listening to. I hope it's long. He's dropped a couple short albums. He dropped a couple short albums, and I'm fine with that. You know, music is music, but give me like 13 tracks at least.
Like, what if it's just like a menage a trois?
Well, here's the thing. I'm thinking that
like 30 songs.
I don't think so, because here's the thing. It's called Sex Tape 4, and Menage a Trois was a compilation of like 3 different
albums.
Like, yes. So I'm thinking this is just probably going to be another album, like a full length. That's kind of what I'm thinking, just like to add to it.
Maybe there will be additional tracks.
Well, he's actually always,
since we're all in quarantine.
Right. He is known for releasing like deluxe editions of all of his albums that have a few extra songs. So I definitely think we can expect that. Yes. And I want to hear some songs about Nicki If Nikki is not talked about on this album, I'm gonna be hot.
So before we wrap it up, thank you again to our friends for recommending these great albums.
Thank you.
We're gonna do this more often. So if you have an album, song, or artist that you want us to listen to and review, DM us on Instagram at The Way Jazz and Tay. Shout out to Mike. Thank you for that J Electronic plug. I
Yes.
can get that out.
Thank you. Really.
I'm sorry I'm late to the party. I'd actually heard good things and I just was kind of like, I don't really know.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Can't blame you for that.
All right, let's get into our hot topic. What's hot right now? So we obviously have to like start it off with the Tiger King reunion.
Yes, we absolutely do.
Because that happened.
Can't get enough of it, can you?
It's hot right now. So they dropped a new episode, and it was the reunion episode. And actually everyone was recorded from their home. So it was during this time period that the reunion was recorded. What was the name of the host again?
Joel McHale.
Joel was the host.
Who's from here?
Is he really?
Yeah, he went to UW and all that too. Mm-hmm.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, look it up. Yeah.
Dude,
that's not really a selling point for me.
Well, sorry. Okay, so here. Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, sorry.
I'm less interested.
That's funny.
Well, I'm a Seattle native. I'm homegrown, so I'm always like super excited when I hear about people coming up from here. So yay, you go, Joel.
But yeah, so we watched the Tiger King reunion, and I'm gonna be honest, like me personally, when we were like, oh yeah, we have to talk about Tiger King because that's hot right now, and I was like, we're talking about the reunion. I haven't seen that.
And I was like, girl, I'm pretty sure we definitely watched it together.
And then I remembered, and I was like, oh yeah, I wasn't that impressed with it.
Well, you know why? Here's the reason why I feel like I was like kind of underwhelmed. I really, really, really wanted there to be like, maybe Doc Antle present, or maybe like Carol Baskin, and they weren't there.
They did not invite.
Of course
them.
not.
Well, I don't think that maybe they weren't invited. I just feel like they probably declined because they know that the world / internet is not too fond of them.
Yeah, and Joel was asking all the questions.
Oh yeah,
like, he was really getting into it with them.
Joel, I feel like was a great person or like host to have, because he's also like, he's kind of shady.
Yeah, and
he's really funny.
Some of the questions were dumb. I was like, he did not just ask that, but some of them I was like, ooh, thank you.
Yeah,
because we needed to know.
Well, like, and I think he asked everybody if they were there for the cats or if they were there for Joe, or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
like just to kind of see where their stand was or their take was on things. And man, that actually reminds me. So the reason why I gave the intro that I gave this morning is because that's like Carol Baskin starts off all of her like little videos and things that she puts on the internet with, hey, all you cool cats and kittens. It's like her thing. And it's just stuck in me. It's been stuck in my head ever since.
Yeah, you opened the show with it. You couldn't miss it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, exactly. But they showed even his ex-husband, Joe's ex-husband. He was actually the last person that they showed on there, and he got a whole new set of teeth.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's got these beautiful, beautiful pearly whites.
Yeah.
And for those of you who haven't seen it, Joe Exotic is, the main guy here. He's had 2 husbands, and one of them was missing pretty much every tooth. He had
maybe 3
4.
teeth.
I remember seeing maybe 4 teeth in his mouth at one time. But and he looks so much better. He looks really good with this full mouth of teeth. So very proud of him. Good for you.
See what a good grill can do for you?
Right.
Right?
One thing that every single person wanted to note was like, they don't do meth.
Yes, I was just going to say that.
So they wanted to debunk all of those rumors, and actually a lot of them were like very passionately like upset about it. Like we kind of hurt their feelings
Yeah.
by saying that. So his campaign manager,
Oh yeah.
and I forgot all the other people's names, but like pretty much everybody we thought we were like they're doing those types of drugs. They came on and they were like, that was like the last thing that all of them said. They're like, we want to clear this up because, you know, that's not me. I don't touch the stuff. I never will touch the stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, I thought that was really cool.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, one of the guys too, like the main zookeeper at Joe's like zoo. He was been like a crowd favorite too. Bless him, I love him. He works so hard and he's all about taking care of his cats. But he was very passionate about too, like, you know, I have been clean and sober for this amount of years. I haven't touched, like, I won't. You guys, like, come on now.
Right.
Oh no, he said like F you. Yeah. Actually, he did. He like closed it out with saying like F you guys. Like, yeah, he was really angry about
upset.
it.
we kind of hurt his feelings.
We're like,
hit a chord there.
Aww.
But yes, that was the Tiger King reunion.
And they actually pointed out too, sorry, really quickly before we wrap it up. Joel McHale pointed out that like this became a phenomenon, or like it became a sensation, way bigger than anyone ever expected it, and that's because of the timing of everything with the pandemic.
Right.
With everything that going on in like Joe's newfound fame, he was also checking in and saying, like, you know, does he know that all of this is going on? Like, does he know that he's famous? Is he able to talk to anybody and whatnot? And we got two different answers. Somebody was like, no, I heard that he's been trying to gain access to like a computer so that he can. And then somebody else close to him said, yeah, he's been talking to everybody. He knows exactly what's going on, and he's just loving all of it and all of this. And so we'll see what happens. We'll see what comes of Joe. We'll see what comes of Carol. And funny thing, Tiger King is actually still trending on Netflix, and it's actually still #1.
It's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous.
I checked Netflix this morning, and it's #1 still in the U.S. on Netflix. So
crazy.
It's just still getting bigger and bigger.
We've given this man the platform he wanted, and that's just crazy.
And like, it's crazy, like he got there, but now he's in jail and he can't even really fully enjoy it.
I mean, as he should be. But also free Joe and lock up Carol Baskin.
I don't know about free Joe. Free Joe, maybe.
Right.
Maybe.
Free Joe loosely, like.
Yeah.
He did some pretty shady stuff, so.
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Like,
legally. Yeah.
So much. All the evidence, like burning he did. I was like, dude, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you can, because he did.
And that's the tea.
And that's Tiger King reunion in a nutshell. You guys should definitely check it out.
That's definitely what's hot right now.
Absolutely. Another thing, you know, due to coronavirus and quarantine, everybody is trying to stay connected and keep in touch with each other, and a lot of celebrities are trying to stay connected and be closer to their fans, and the #1 way they're doing this is by IG Live. And so the next topic that we're actually going to talk about that's hot right now, on Easter, Diddy did a dance-a-thon. It was I wish I would have looked this up. It was for a charity. Essentially, they were inviting different celebrities on to dance. They danced all day long on Easter. And I wish I could tell you where the proceeds were going.
But they were raising a lot of money.
They raised a ton of money.
Yeah. And they were doing all kinds, you know, they had all kinds of different things. Because, you know, Diddy has kids. And so he had his kids there dancing. They let other families and whatnot bring on their kids and everything. It was fun. It was a good old time.
Yes.
But,
however,
of course, with everything,
there was a scandal.
There was a problem.
So basically what happened was Diddy invited Lizzo, or requested Lizzo to join his IG Live and to join the dance-a-thon. And as we all know, Lizzo likes to show her behind.
Yes.
Literally.
She loves to twerk that booty.
Yes. She's not scared, so that's exactly what she did.
Of course.
However, I'm not sure who was playing the music at this time, if it was on Diddy's side or if it was on Lizzo's side. And when I watched the video, to be honest, this was the only thing that I picked up on.
Same.
The song that was playing was not Easter appropriate, first and foremost. And that was my first thought, because I saw the video on Monday and I'm listening and I'm like, wait, they recorded this on Easter? Because it sounded like a trap holiday, you know?
Lots of curse words, okay?
You could hear the N-word, you could hear like F, I'm just like, this isn't, and all of a sudden, like as soon as that thought crossed my mind, you see Diddy run in frame and go, whoa, 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 pause everything. And he's like, we need to play something a little bit more appropriate. It's Easter and it's Sunday. And I was like, right. But right at that moment, Lizzo had just started twerking.
Oh.
Okay.
Yes.
So
naturally, the internet interpreted this as him fat shaming
Lizzo.
Because as soon as she started moving her booty, he shut stuff down.
He shut it down, right? Well, fast forward. The plot thickens because there was another celebrity that was invited on during the dance-a-thon later in the night. She's a reality star, used to be married or dating a basketball player, has been on the show Basketball Wives. Drea is her name. And they let her on, and the song by, Juvenile, Hot Boys, Back That Up was playing, and it wasn't edited.
No.
And Drea was out here twerking. And Diddy's sons are all in frame looking like they're thirsting.
Of course.
And nobody stopped Drea.
Nobody said anything about the song. Nobody said anything about her moving her booty.
Yeah. Nobody said anything about this young son's thirsting. Mind you, it was all on Easter.
Yeah, it was still the same day.
And so the people wanted to know, what's good, Diddy? Are you fat shaming Lizzo? Like, why would you allow Drea to twerk, but not Lizzo? Okay, so if we're gonna open this conversation up, I'd love to talk about it. I personally didn't think he was fat shaming Lizzo.
Not at all.
I think it just happened to be Lizzo in frame, and there just happened to be a really, really explicit song playing on Easter, and that was not what he was trying to do. And like, even in the back of my mind, like taking out the fact that it was Easter, it was like supposed to be a charity event, and I'm pretty sure it was like for kids. Like it was a dance-a-thon to raise money for like supplies for children. And so I was like, it's supposed to be kid friendly anyway. Like, it's a little much, the song in general. Lizzo twerking at this point, I'm like desensitized to it.
Exactly.
So it's just kind of like another day.
Exactly.
But like, I also felt like the twerking was unnecessary. Even
that is true, because it's like, it is Easter, and like we were having our praise hour and like our Jesus hour on Easter morning, and I felt bad when I started twerking. Like, I had to stop. I was like, ooh, I cannot twerk for Jesus today.
But yeah, so like,
it's a good album title. It really is. Like, people would be like, ooh, I think I'll take that. Novelty.
Yes. But yeah, I do think there is a double standard.
Because here's the thing, the song that Drea was dancing to
was not appropriate.
He could have told her to change it, or he could have definitely switched that over. And if the twerking wasn't a problem, then she could have kept twerking. But between whatever song Lizzo was dancing to and between that song, neither are appropriate for Easter.
Right. So like, that's the only thing that kind of contradicts his whole argument that it was about the song, because he did make a video recently, put it on Instagram. He said he was not fat shaming Lizzo. He was talking about the song in the lyrics, and it was just too dirty for what they were trying to do. But yeah, I definitely think that if that's the case, then the same could be said for Drea's song, because that song was not appropriate either. It's definitely not something I've ever heard in church.
No, never. You probably never will. If we're gonna be honest.
You know, so yeah, again, one thing I also would like to add is that I would really, really, really love it if like people, Americans, the public could really get over using Lizzo for every freaking battle that they want to fight.
Yeah.
It's like every time something happens, they're like, ugh, it's this, it's that. It's like, honestly, I'm gonna be upfront. When people are like, I'm done seeing Lizzo's behind, they're like, oh, you're just tired because she's fat. No, I'm tired because I've seen your butt 1 to 2 many more times than I need to.
I probably might have seen her butt more than I've seen mine.
And like, the fact that I'm desensitized to seeing you twerk,
Yeah.
like the fact that I don't even, it's like another day.
Yeah. Oh, there's Lizzo's butt. Scroll.
You know, like, I'm just kind of over it. That's all I have to say. I'm just kind of over that. I'm over the whole, like, let's use her for every, you know, but like every, I don't know. I feel like I'm going to say something that's going to get me in trouble, but I'm also just kind of like, I love Lizzo.
Same.
I love what she stands for. I love that she has a positive body image, and I love what she's doing for other people who may not or who see themselves in her. But I also feel like it's overdone. Not everything is fat shaming. Not everything's body shaming. Not everybody has a problem with Lizzo. And it's like, people, let it go.
Let it go. Let it go. Okay, we're done.
Okay. I don't know the next part, but
Okay.
I just like, the cold never bothered me
Anyway, yep, that's right.
All right.
Remix, the booty never bothered me anyway.
The last thing we want to touch on is Obama and Bernie Sanders have both now endorsed Joe Biden for the presidency.
Dun dun.
The plot thickens.
Yeah. So this is hot right now because when Bernie dropped out, a lot of people were saying, not gonna vote for him. He's crooked. He's dirty.
All of this and that and the other.
He's basically Trump on the Democratic side.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, false news. I mean, fake news.
Fake news.
Fake news. And so I actually think it's very interesting that because Obama was being very quiet, and so was Bernie.
Obama had, like, from the jump, ever since Biden started running, Obama has not said anything about it.
Yes, but he finally came on and he endorsed him, and he said that he's the president that we need right now.
There you go.
And you know what?
Do you see how select he was with his words?
Yeah.
You know, he's endorsing him because and I agree. That's exactly why he is the president that we need right now.
Yeah.
In another election, would I? But no, absolutely not.
I wasn't voting for Joe Biden. Like that, he was not the top of the list. I was like,
You know, but like we're in this position now where when the greatest president to have ever lived, Obama,
Not at all biased.
Not even a little bit.
No.
That's a fact.
is endorsing him, and you've got Bernie Sanders here, who this is probably his dying wish, is to see Biden win.
We're going off the rails.
I'm
you
so
guys.
sorry, guys.
It's not even that funny, but
but it's just when you see there's like powers knowing that they need to join together to do what's best for the country at this time.
Mhm.
And that's what they are doing, is they are realizing that it is bigger than this, it is bigger than them, and they need to get their people behind them to get behind Joe.
Absolutely.
Joe Schmo.
I also think that a lot of people should remember that, you know, some of your favorites that you know, are no longer running may have a chance of being a running mate, or you know, being a part of a task force or the cabinet. I don't know. Who knows?
Have you seen the latest, trending as far as imaging for, you know, Biden?
No, I haven't.
So, you know, here, I'll send you, like, so you can kind of see what I'm talking about in the chat window. But it's like Biden 2020, they're respelling it to Biden, Bydon for
like
Donnie.
Biden.
So Biden for Donnie
Love
2020.
it.
Pretty clever, huh? So there
I
might be
love
something
that.
around that too. I caught that on someone's
I
page
like
the other day.
that.
Yeah.
I'm ready to do that today.
So
Yes.
it's like, vote
Every
blue
day.
for no matter who. So
I'm going to send that to my dad just to start a fight.
thank goodness after Easter.
Yeah, right.
Nice table talk there, Dad.
So we wanted to just touch on that really briefly. We really hope that people who weren't thinking Biden was a good choice, you reconsider, and if you weren't thinking about voting, we hope you also reconsider.
Please
on that.
vote.
I think no matter what, you should vote.
Yeah, your voices needs to be heard.
Absolutely. And so many people have fought for the right to vote and died for the right to
Right.
vote, and I just think that it's our duty to do that. And you can't really say you don't like Trump and you don't want to be the president if you're not doing your part to
Yep.
Right.
help
Don't
the
talk it
country.
if you can't walk it.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
And I've
Okay.
already said, anybody who doesn't vote, I don't want to. If Trump wins, I don't want to hear it from you.
We can fight.
Yeah, I don't want to hear it from you. But I think Biden's gonna win because I'm staying optimistic.
yeah. Right?
Something good's got to happen. Let's roll into a really quick recap. Yeah,
Yes, let's do it. Easter. Definitely the way.
absolutely.
Easter in quarantine. But it could have been worse. I still ate good.
Yeah, I would have loved to gone to my parents' house and had macaroni and cheese
Yeah.
and seen my mom and
Yeah.
auntie and all them. But yeah, it was pretty good regardless.
Our icebreaker categories.
The way.
Definitely the way. I like that it keeps me on my toes. It forces you to think and get engaged. So
Absolutely. I'm ready for work now.
definitely the way.
Wait. Review of the week, The Way.
Yeah.
Our friends recommending, songs for us to listen to. Absolutely The Way. Thank you again for that.
And I'm excited to check out the Eminem for sure. That's gonna be me.
Hot topic, what's hot right now is The Way. Tiger King reunion. Everybody should check it out.
If you haven't already.
Celebrity live streams. The Way.
The way.
And Obama and Bernie endorsing Biden is.
The way. Go Joe. Go Joe.
Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll talk to you guys next week.
Toodles.
As always, thank you so much for tuning into The Way. Catch you next week, same time, same place. Follow us on Instagram at The Way Jazz and Tay and on Twitter at The Way JT. Don't be afraid to DM us if you have any questions or suggestions about the show. Until next time, bye. Peace.